Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Bullpen. He's back. I got to give this brother a 10 for effort. We have, once again, Joe Collins III, California congressional candidate. He is a Republican running against Maxine Waters. How are you, sir?
Man, I'm extremely blessed. How about yourself?
I'm doing quite well. You are here actually to debate and promote why Larry Elder would be the best governor for California. Now, let me ask you this, brother. Did Larry put you up to this?
No. Larry didn't put me up to it. I think if they had to choose somebody to promote or say if Larry Elder was the best candidate, they probably would have picked somebody else. I'm gonna try to bring the most non-biased opinion that I can. And the reason why is because I have my own personal biases against Larry Elder for personal comments he made about myself. So we can get to it though. Let's make it happen.
All right, so that's quite interesting. So I don't want to presume to know what you believe about Larry Elder or why a Republican is best fit to be governor of California. So if you would, what are some of the positives in your opinion that stick out about Larry Elder becoming governor of California?
Well, I think, the most notable one is if he does make it, he will be the first black governor of California in the history of California. I think that's a.
Wait a minute, brother. Hold on, wait. Larry Elder's black? Yeah, you even have to laugh at that. Yeah, go ahead, brother. Continue.
It's funny because I saw a meme and it was from Larry Elder in school, and they say, "Hey, look, it's Larry Elder blackfacing," and I cried laughing for a couple of minutes. But he would be the first black governor, regardless if he's Democrat or Republican. I think that's one of the positives. Another thing is he got cojones. You got to run in a heavy Democrat district against a Democrat powerhouse. $40 million on the book before the re-election campaign even started for this recall. Another thing is, he's popular among conservatives, and I know that doesn't say much because California is a heavy Democrat state, but he is popular amongst conservatives. I would prefer that he get out in front of hostile environments and be able to try and connect with people on a level that they can understand with that are not conservatives. But those are the positives that I see.
All right. So here's the thing. I'm a policy guy. And since I'm a policy guy, I really don't give a damn that Larry Elder is black. If you represent a policy agenda that is adversarial to the communities that I love and support and that have loved and supported me, I could care less about the fact that the man is a black man. I don't care. He represents a policy agenda that's antithetical to what I believe will progress the black community. And let me also say this about Larry Elder. And by the way, if you run into him, tell them to stop ducking and dodging me, okay, if you run into him. Larry Elder has said, and these things are problematic because he has never reconciled these quotes, talking about the glass ceiling. Now you agree, brother, because you and I have had common sense conversations. You agree that women in the workplace, they have had it difficult. They have been biased against. They have had to work harder in order to get similar promotions and sometimes not at all. We already know the pay inequity is a reality based on statistical studies today. So we know this, the glass ceiling is real. Do you agree to that? That there is a glass ceiling of sorts in corporate America as it relates to women and other historically marginalized groups, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Here's what Larry said. Larry said, what glass ceiling? Women exaggerate the problem of sexism. That's what he said. This man would be in a position of policy authority to remedy a problem that he says, contrary to all data and facts, he says doesn't exist.
Yeah, he said that, and there's no disputing it. We all know that women in the workplace, in America in general, have it harder than anybody else, and that goes beyond your race. Just women in general have it really hard. Those glass ceilings are being broken, but how much does women have to struggle in order to be on the same equal playing field as the men? And that takes me back to women's suffrage, and they're fighting for women's rights, fighting for equality, fight just the right to vote, which happened not even 56 years ago. And so, yeah, it's a problem.
It's a huge problem, and I get it. He's a talk radio guy, which means he talks a lot. So obviously he's going to say something on record that people would disagree with. But he's saying things on record that even Republicans disagree with. Okay, so I'm trying to find out what is the mystique of a Larry Elder becoming governor of governor of California, and even with the hardcore Democratic population inside of the Republican Party in California, the guy is still very popular. Why is that?
Well, I'll tell you this. I ran against Maxine Waters in 2020, and one thing that I found out is the conservative Republican party and the movement think that if you're popular amongst those groups, then you're popular everywhere else. And that's not the case. That has not ever been the case. I think that when you talk about popularity, yes, he got a lot of excitement because he is popular. He is a radio show host. He's from South Central Los Angeles. But I think at the end of the day, unless you crossing those boundaries and crossing those lines to engage with other people, that type of campaign isn't going to work. If we talk about if Larry Elder is the best fit for a governor, I can't even honestly tell you that he is or isn't because I don't have anything to compare it to. He has never held the office position. There are a lot of great candidates who are running. You have, Kevin Faulconer, who is the former mayor of San Diego. You have Kevin Kiley, who is now an assemblyman running for governor as well. But because this guy is popular, everybody is on the Larry Elder train.
So let me say this, brother, because I'm looking at the production notes that my producer sent to you, and it says topic that you want to discuss: why is Larry Elder the right Republican candidate for the California recall election? But it sounds like you're telling us that he is not the right candidate.
I'm not saying that he's the right candidate. I'm not saying he isn't the right candidate. What I'm saying is you have a lot of candidates that have more experience running a city than he does. He doesn't have any legislative experience. And I think the biggest issue that people are missing right now is, say I say he is, right? He wins the governorship, but we still have a conglomerate of Democrats. So he can be a Republican governor and still can't get anything done because we don't have enough Republicans in office in California, whether it be the local level or the federal level, to get any type of legislation passed. They will veto everything that he does. You have to be that candidate that is willing to work with Democrats, Republicans, and independent together to create the type of environment where you can get some type of positive policy passed. And I think another issue that we have is, throughout every single candidate that I have ever seen, everybody is talking about what bad of a job Gavin Newsom is doing, but nobody is ever talking about what they're going to do to correct it. Everybody's, well, homeless, he let all the homeless, he let illegal immigrants, yada, yada, yada. But that's not lowering the cost of living. Taxes is high. We do have an influx of immigrants coming over illegally. We do have people leaving California. We do have a lot of jobs closing. We do have the cost of living rising, but nobody's addressing the real issue that's going to help people in California. So,
all right, man, it's just really interesting because we were under the impression that you were a hardcore Larry Elder guy. So maybe you know this question. Maybe you know the answer to this. Why is Larry Elder scared of me?
You know what? Let me tell you this. Whoever told you I was a hardcore Larry Elder guy, they probably got it messed up. My campaign, we supported the recall movement. We supported almost every single movement, and we don't get any credit. We supported everything from the reopen California to the recall of Gavin Newsom. Whoever is going to be that person to replace Gavin Newsom, that's up to the people. And I don't want my own personal biases to get in the way of the people being able to vote because of what the issues between Larry Elder and Joe Collins. But I can tell you this, the reason why Larry Elder may be afraid of you is because, let me tell you, this is our third conversation. The first one was great. The second one, we had some issues. And so now we're talking about Larry Elder. When you talk about somebody who's educated, another educated black man, we talk about somebody who has their facts and has their things together. It's really hard to have an educated conversation when you're working off emotions versus somebody who has their entire facts. And a lot of times, during this recall election, people are 100% running off emotions, but they're not talking about the facts. They're not talking about the underlying issues. We could talk about, anything. We could talk about illegal immigrants. We can talk about all of these things that it's not going to help people pay their bills.
Well, brother, I got to say this. You're not scared. You have come on this program multiple times. And we have discussed a plethora of political items right here on this show. When I look at Larry Elder's Twitter feed, because that's basically how he communicates with the world, he's not talking about hardcore policy items germane to California. It's almost as if he's taking quotes he said on radio and putting them on Twitter and trying to rebrand them as part of his campaign. Now, he's running a campaign in a silo, right? It's all people that support Larry Elder, but they've always supported Larry Elder. He's not creating coalitions. He's not building bridges. He's not even saying things that are common sense. He's playing to a red meat base. Now, I know one thing about you, brother. You say some things that make common sense. Now, I don't agree with all of your politics, obviously. I don't agree with many of your policy agenda items. And I also think that you are neutral in areas where you should not be. But you actually have some policy agenda items. You actually talk about things that are connected to legislative processes. Larry Elder is not. So I'm gonna jump off the Larry Elder thing and talk about your thing. So even though I wasn't gonna debate you on this, man, I am aware that you filed a lawsuit against Maxine Waters for defamation, against her campaign for defamation. And you got a snippet of a victory. It was a judge saying, hey, the other side didn't do something, you can move forward with the case. Give us some highlight to that, man. Why are you suing Auntie Maxine, man?
Well, we ran a hard-fought race, and I have a lot of respect for Maxine Waters, and I'll tell you the reason why I ended up in this race was because of a lot of personal issues between Maxine and myself whenever I got out of the military. But when it comes to the lawsuit, I mean, talk about me, talk about my family, my background. But when you talk about military service, that's when I draw the line. Now, she ran millions of dollars of advertising saying I was dishonorably discharged, which was false. And she got her information from an opinion of a judge. He got his opinion incorrect because we've never put my DD-214 on the record. I was a homeless veteran sleeping on the streets. I was actually going to Maxine to try and get help. And, she did what she did. It's politics. I understand it's a dirty game, but for the sacrifice that I've made, Operation Iraqi Freedom, serving boots on the ground, I didn't take too kindly to anybody saying I was dishonorably discharged. Okay. So we did file a defamation lawsuit, and it's a bit back and forth. We won the first part of the lawsuit, which allowed the lawsuit to go to the judge in state court. She won the second part of the lawsuit, which the judge says that she couldn't, unfortunately find anything wrong, but she didn't kick the case. So now we are in the Court of Appeals, and we'll see what happens there. At the end of the day, I'm going to respect whatever the judge's decision is, and we're going to move forward amicably. I think during this first run, I learned a lot of growth when it came to running for a congressional seat. A lot of growth and understanding the dynamics of politics, and also respecting your opponent. And I think that's one of the biggest takeaways that I'm going to take from the 2020 and put into 2022.
All right, so. Brother, I'm telling you this because I love you. They're going to kick your case out.
It's a possibility.
Brother, no, brother. Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Your attorneys have already told you this, I'm sure. Your case is going to get kicked out. But maybe you sent a warning shot to others when it comes to political campaigning. Because really, you can say whatever you want to say almost in political campaigns, and that's based on statute and settled case law. You right now, because you and I had this discussion before, we only got a few minutes. You right now are Republican. Joe, I don't know why you're a Republican, sir. Now listen, man, I really want you to consider this, okay? Because when you look at policy to policy, right? Only Democratic presidents in modern history, we're talking about since World War II, only Democratic presidents have overseen the largest increase in GDP, the largest increase in private job sectors, increasing in America. Only Democratic presidents. If your issue is you're a Republican because of a moral issue as it relates to abortion, okay, that's an argument, right? But only Democrats have overseen decreases in abortion rates in America, while Republicans, even if they are proclaiming to be pro-life, abortions in America increase under their leadership. Almost every policy variable that you and I have discussed and debated, progressives, those on the left, have been able to deliver that agenda better than the team you're a part of. So why are you still a Republican?
Well, like I said before, I'm a Republican because the history of the Republican Party. The first black man to get into politics were Republican. And, coming from where I come from, we have a conglomerate of Democrats and, you have Republicans on the other side. And for me, I think that when you talk specifically about the black community, we're going to need allies on both sides to be able to push whatever agenda is going to best benefit our community and America. And I think that's the line I fall on. Sometimes it's unpopular. Sometimes it is, but I think at the end of the day, as long as we're doing what's best for the people, that political party preference will remain exactly what it is, and that's just the preference.
All right, Joe. Listen, man, I appreciate your transparency. I appreciate you always coming on the bullpen, but I got to tell you, brother, you keep talking as if you got some common sense. They're going to kick you out of the Republican Party. And listen, when that happens, brother, I'm telling the truth. Yes. When that happens, brother, give me a call and we can have that conversation. All right, Joe?
I look forward to it. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you being on the show. Thank you, man.